This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, in red, that's Alex. In white, that's the Ramble. That's the name of the program. And we're here until midnight tonight. And here I am, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Good to see you. I look a little different tonight, but I'll tell you why once I get to our other caller. And I am in still a great deal of pain. I'll tell you why. Wait a minute. Let me bring in Phil Meyer here. Because it's Phil Meyer night. I didn't think it was supposed to be Phil Meyer night tonight, but it turns out it was Phil Meyer night tonight. Tell them why it's Phil Meyer night tonight. I thought, see, what you wrote was the 1st and 3rd of the month. You didn't say starting in April.
Okay, I'll give you that. I thought I was giving you due notice, and I understand the 1st and the 3rd, but I have to say on Monday you had a show, and I thought that there was a really good opportunity to get you a job through it. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to submit it to this advertising company for a commercial. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Now shut up.
But they said it was too realistic and they weren't interested.
Yeah, it only appealed to old people.
Yeah.
In case people are wondering, my wife beat me. Here, where is it? There it is. See that?
Elder abuse.
See that? But if you look really close, it's also black and blue. Look at that.
Yeah.
See?
Good thing you got 4K. That's scary.
See the black and blue there?
Wow. You really took a tumble.
I was walking back from the grocery store with a bag full of groceries.
Yeah.
A light bag full of groceries, not a heavy bag full of groceries. I used to take heavy bags of groceries, but at my age, it's a light bag of groceries. And I was coming back, and I don't know, I guess I tumbled because of my Skechers catching on the pavement.
Well, are you starting to shuffle now rather than have a long gait that you walk?
No, when I'm walking, I walk at a fairly decent, brisk pace.
And you lift your feet?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. But
wow.
I don't know. I didn't look back, but there might have been like a little rise in the pavement or something like that. And I started stumbling, and I couldn't stop myself from stumbling, and I fell flat on my face.
Well, that is a very dangerous thing, especially as we get older. Mm-hmm. Because
I realize that. I was told that by Marjorie. As we get older, expect more tumbles, she said.
Well, it's more. Not a matter of just expecting tumbles. You have to walk with intention so that you lift your feet, because as we get older, our IT bands shrink and we start to shuffle a bit, and any cracks in the sidewalk, things like that, we tend to trip over them. Mm-hmm. And the consequence is that you break a hip and then it's downhill, and you certainly don't want to do that. Not with commercials like "I've fallen and I can't get up" available in the marketplace.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the worst of it. This isn't the worst of it. See, underneath
you lost
here.
it.
See, underneath here, it hit my tooth, but nothing went bad with my tooth at all. Originally, the first people helped pick me up said, "I think you lost a tooth," and then it turned out it was my earplug. It was my ear thing.
Did you lose the groceries?
No, they fell down around the floor, but I got them and I took them.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was not the worst of it. The worst of it is still I have, and it's great pain. It's this. Now, you can't really see it. But here, if I look at it, it's actually getting black and blue.
Wow.
I fell, and I, prevented myself from falling, okay? And I hit my hand, And now my whole hand hurts so much I can't bring these two fingers together very well. It hurts too much.
Well, yeah. I can bring my fingers together. It's like playing the smallest violin in the world.
Well, this is also my favorite hand too. So,
Well, you're going to have to learn to do it lefty. But what I'm thinking is that you were lucky. I mean, there are better ways to fall than palm down. But as long as you did, that could have been.
What's a better way of falling down? I'm trying to prevent myself from hitting the ground.
Yeah, I understand, but there's ways, like when I took judo as a third grader, and they teach you how to fall, and it's helped me over the years. But with falling, if you didn't break your fall with your hand, your lip could have been much worse.
So anyway, I figure I can make this look better. Wait a minute, hold on a second. There we go. Here we go. Let me see here if I can do this. I got to do this in the mirror here.
Try a Band-Aid.
Huh? No. I guess it's not going to cover it up. I guess it's not going to cover. Is that look better?
It's covered it a bit. Now it just looks like you're the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, I'm melting.
But I mean, I don't.
I'm really glad that you weren't hurt any more than you were. I mean, look what happened to Marjorie when she fell. Well, actually, somebody pushed her.
Yeah,
pushed her.
Here, this will work better. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we get that there. See, we do that, and then we got to put this back in this case here. Let me see.
Hey, you're always prepared.
What? Wait a minute.
The show must go on.
I guess the show must go on. There we go. Now I put that there, and then I put that. Oh no, I put that on top of there. I don't know how to do these things because I don't. Girls know how to do this. But we don't know how to do it as guys. Now let me see here.
Got a little bit of rouge, a little lipstick.
Little, but you see that doesn't look that good either. Yeah, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
It's good enough. It's good enough for Wednesdays on Gabnet.
Yeah, well, it's the best we can do for makeup.
Yeah. Hey, well, maybe you should get a Patreon account so people can donate to your makeup and healing fund.
You probably should donate to my not being able to walk very well here now. I mean, this is my hand is killing me, just killing me.
Well,
and somebody said, well, you should go have it x-rayed, and I went, well, I don't think it needs an x-ray. That I think I can.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, all you need is more aggravation. But I have one of these carts. They fold, but they're sort of cavernous, and sometimes you put laundry in it and you take it down to the laundry room because I'm in a multi-level apartment building with a general shared laundry, which I hate. But if you had one of those when you went grocery shopping, you could push it, you could hang on to it, and it doesn't look like a walker. And you put your groceries in it and give you a little more.
Well, sometimes we do take them, but I didn't need enough. I wasn't picking up enough that I needed to do that, So.
Well, that was the way of the store punishing you for not buying your fair share.
But anyway, I try to bring my fingers together. If I try to pick up a cup here, it's a bit painful.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you fell. There was a good joke in it, but. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Hey, the reason I have this background is this looks like something that Putin would have. And, he would have this kind of palace, don't you? You look at the Russian buildings in Moscow and they're very colorful and very
the Russian, his background is somewhat ornate, but not really, So.
Yeah. Well, he kills people in a very ornate way. He was taught the KGB way, and when he's going to poison somebody. Did you hear about that model that spoke out against Putin, and they found her body cut up and in a piece of luggage.
Yeah, but they say her boyfriend did it.
Well, was her boyfriend Putin?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, God bless it. And also, my cream sinks to the bottom of my cup.
Wow.
Boy, I just got everything with me is wrong.
Yeah,
Sinking cream.
I don't know.
Sinking
cream at the
cream?
bottom of the cup.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was the cream in your coffee. You know.
Oh boy! And then I didn't bring my. Oh, I didn't bring my my soda in case I needed. Hold on a second. Talk to the people out there.
All right.
While I go get my soda.
All right, people. How many people think that this war in Ukraine is real? All right. Now I'm going to ask Alex what he thinks of this. You know, just like I have the Palace of Versailles behind me, maybe the war is being fought as a CGI movie, and it's all in an attempt to cover up the Democrats' do-nothing Congress. So they look like they're coming together. They look like they. Oh, Alex, you got your ice. I've been entertaining the people, and okay, you got your ears on.
Go. Sorry,
Yeah.
everybody. I just wanted to get my soda.
Well,
Wait,
I've been
hold on a second.
entertaining
I
the
can't hear
people
you.
while you were
Hold
gone,
on.
and
There
I've
we
come
go.
up with an idea.
What?
My idea is that what's going on in Ukraine is a cover up. It's really a CGI movie that Putin is staging to see what the West's reaction would be if he were to attack Ukraine.
By the way, folks, he's saying this is a joke. Okay, I just wanted
Well,
to say that.
think about it.
Well, because some of the things you say are so outrageous that they aren't jokes, but this is a joke.
Yeah, it could be a joke.
Yeah.
You know, think about this. If he wanted to test the waters to see if the U.S. and the West would not have a reaction to his invasion, what if he staged the invasion on TV? He controls the media.
Yeah.
You know, he's what if he just used CGI and all of those people that are crying in Ukraine are really actors and actresses that were hired at union scale to make it seem as if there's a war and that people are suffering, but really there's no war and no one's suffering.
Yeah. But somebody just wrote and said, if your hand didn't swell up, maybe you didn't break any bones. Well, it's a little swollen. You can see that it's red, but it's not terribly swollen.
You're probably bruised.
I'm sure I'm bruised. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
You know. So then I put this stuff on there.
Oh, does that work?
Oh, yeah, it worked when I had a torn meniscus, but it doesn't seem to be working for this that much.
Oh.
So you put a little line of it on there, and then you.
Yeah, I see
rub
that
it in.
advertised Voltaren. They have some odd commercials
This
with this
used to
guy
be.
dancing.
I had to get this by prescription. This one.
Really?
Yeah, and now it's not prescription, but they still charge as much for it as they did.
Same strength?
Same strength. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see their commercials.
Yeah.
You could do those much better than the guy that's dancing like Elaine from Seinfeld.
Well, I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could do that. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm putting it on there. So we'll see.
That's
We'll see if
the
that helps at
application. So you use this grease for a number of things.
all. Huh?
Yeah, the grease, the Voltaren.
Yeah.
Does it also
I did it.
work?
I originally got it because I had a torn meniscus.
Yeah.
And so I started rubbing it down there, and it seemed to really help. This doesn't seem to help that much.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like I really tore up my hand. You know.
Yeah. There are some things that numb the skin a little bit.
Well, this is. I don't need a skin number. I need something that will like completely deaden the pain. You know.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's like I can't. Today I can move my fingers a little bit together like that. A couple of days ago, if I did that, I'd be screaming.
Well, I'm wondering whether you should go and get it X-rayed, and maybe I'm not sure if this is the fix for it, but could they use an injection of cortisone to?
I don't think so. I mean, I get what happens is I have arthritis here and I get cortisone here. This seems to have exacerbated the arthritis or something. I don't know. I'll wait and see a couple of weeks and then I'll go to the,
maybe they can do something right away. Have you been using this stuff? This is
no, you would hear me screaming.
Really?
Yeah, you would hear me screaming.
It doesn't help with the arthritis?
It helps a little bit with the arthritis, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah. Welcome once again to the hospital here at the Alex Bennett Ramble.
Right. Well, it's the waiting room.
The waiting room. God's waiting room. That's what we should call this show. I think I'll rename it God's Waiting Room. The Lord will see you now. Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, instead of the ramble, it's the prescription.
I still say your name in a prayer every night.
That I won't call?
No, I've had a tradition in my life where I've had a little prayer I say every night.
Yishkadal, Yishkadal.
No, it's not in Hebrew.
Well, isn't that the prayer when someone's passed away? And
no, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, but you're in that prayer because when you had the prostate cancer, I threw you into the prayer. Okay.
Wow.
But I'm thinking of throwing you out of the prayer because you seem to be okay.
Well, I feel okay. Between getting Rolfed, which is a 1970s thing.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about your prostate cancer.
Well, I haven't had it tested lately, but I've got other stuff going on.
How long ago were you supposed to get it tested?
Now, probably now. So it's been almost 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the last couple of times there was no cancer present.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got other stuff going on now.
Well, should I keep you in the prayer for the time being, or
well,
if enough?
You know what they call an old Jew like me is a pisher, because now I'm having urinary issues. So
I'm having urinary issues too. I have that stinging thing going on, but I think that's urethritis.
Yeah. Well, don't they give you Cipro for that or something?
I think so. I'm seeing my doctor in about a week from next Monday, and he's going to do the blood test, and then I'll tell him about that, and I'm sure he'll say it's something that here try the Cipro for a while, see if it goes away.
I called my urologist.
Boy, this is really talk that will get the young people listening to us.
Well, the young people should know that they're lucky when they don't have these kinds of things, because one day they will.
We were up to 28
I would have known
people
then.
We were up to 28 people. Now we're down to 24.
Yeah, that's because they had to go pee.
Oh, now we're up to 25. Everybody, call your friends, okay?
Yeah, well, that's not bad for the first half hour. Charlie gave us a death watch. He's doing the totals now. It's not the weekly counting the amount. It's
so did you see what's his name today? Oh, by the way, I also ache here, and I think a couple other places too.
So did Zelensky.
So here on my side.
Yeah. Well, who did I see today?
Oh, did you see Walensky today?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Well, I tell you, he's a I think the guy speaks 8 languages, and he really
I think he speaks 4 actually.
Really?
Yeah.
But he was able to rally Congress, and this is one of the first time in years that people have agreed with one another. Although I'm wondering whether this deal with Ukraine is a CGI.
Oh, come
thing.
on, just stop.
And it's just to cover up Biden's low numbers, because you figure if you're a wartime president, look, some people even say that the moon landing was staged in a soundstage. All right, come on, one small step for mankind. Nah, the guy was in Hollywood. Who wrote that line?
Actually, that line was written by somebody very famous, as I remember.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
No. It was written by a poet.
Yeah.
Who wrote it for NASA, but he said it wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one small step for
man.
Well, but he said for man, but it's supposed to be for a man.
Oh,
one giant step for mankind.
Right. Now that would be considered woke. Now they couldn't use that term,
Phil.
Today.
Phil, I'm trying to have a serious discussion here.
All right. It just came about that,
What was that?
Well,
my eggs are ready.
Oh,
I see.
Do you have an egg timer?
What was that ding? Where's that ding come from?
I don't know. I heard a buzz. Did you leave the door open to your refrigerator?
No.
All right.
But I wonder what that ding was. It didn't come off my watch, did it? No, I don't think so. Anyway, where was I?
Oh, we were. I had referred to the NASA statement as being woke. Here it is, 50 years later, and it's 50 years, 68, no, 52, 54, something like. And that statement would have been jumped on by the far left.
Okay. If we're talking about all of humanity, by the way, the middle part of human is man, or half of human.
Not anymore.
Man. You person.
Yeah, right.
I mean, humanity. I'd say, what do you call it? You call it mankind, right?
Right. That's what I would do.
Person kind. Sounds really.
I also
stupid.
order out chinks.
Yeah, no, but person kind.
Yeah.
Come on. What's with that? Anyway, no, but I just. I don't know. I thought the speech was a good speech.
Excellent speech.
We didn't applaud him as long as the Canadians did. But then again, why? We're assholes.
No.
Secondly, I figure that all the things that Biden is doing, don't amount to shit. Okay?
Well,
I mean, really, to be very honest with you, we need to teach Putin a lesson. This is, somebody mentioned today, and you say, well, we can't go in there because NATO can't go in there.
Yeah.
No-fly zone. Then you have to, what we can do is give them the weapons that are sufficient, then make it a no-fly zone and let them shoot down the planes.
That's true. Now, I understood that Biden had just okayed $1 billion in weapons.
No.
And that
nowhere near that.
I heard it today on Fox. They said $1 billion.
No, it isn't $1 billion. It was something like a half of.
Are they going to give them the drones too?
Million. They're going to give them some drones, yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you make it a no-fly zone and then let them enforce it and give them the equipment to enforce it with, that might make sense. The other thing is that we can't let Putin get away with this. And somebody mentioned something very interesting that we keep quoting that, we can't go in there because it isn't a NATO country and blah, 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 and we're not empowered to do it. Yes, we are, by the Geneva Conventions.
Yeah.
Which talk about
women,
crimes against humanity. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we could invoke the Geneva Conventions. But, I think... Biden is a pussy. On the other hand, if we had Trump in office, he wouldn't be doing anything.
Well, Trump sent him and okayed a lot of the military aid that had been sent over there, because when Obama was president, he didn't send military aid. He sent blankets, and Trump had okayed a lot of that stuff, and Biden delayed the shipments that were under his tenure. Biden delayed those shipments. Now, they've recently, in the last couple of weeks, opened it up. But what most of those Congress people are saying is this aid should have taken place 3 months ago. and we wouldn't be talking about whether we'd be entering a nuclear war with or World War III. But if we would have sent them this armament 3 months ago, prior to the invasion, there would have been no discussion as to whether we were provoking Putin. Right?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that assumption. I think that as we saw this thing coming along, we should have told. I think we did. He did tell Putin, "You better not do this, or you're going to have some hell."
You better not do this.
No, but or you're going to have some great big sanctions against you.
Yeah,
Putin
said he didn't care. And
well,
now
he does care. He does care because what it's doing is it's affecting the oligarchs, and the only reason he stays in power is because the oligarchs say that he can.
Well, that one oligarch, Abramson, he went to Israel. I think he's lost just about everything, and they even got his plane back in Russia, and he's in Israel now. But the thing about Putin and these sanctions is that the Chinese are continuing to trade and to support Putin's efforts. And what we need to do is...
They're not supporting Putin's efforts. They are still trading with Putin.
But they're also buying, instead of trading in dollars, they're going to trade in, how do you pronounce it? Yuan? Wands. Yeah. And also they're talking to the Saudi Arabians about using yuan as the denomination rather than dollars. And so
all he has to do to escape the money problem that way is to just do Bitcoin, and he's home safe. Except he's investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't know about.
But hey, if criminals use Bitcoin, if drug dealers use Bitcoin, then why can't Russia?
Well, the criminals were doing it before it was common knowledge and mainstream. Now that it's more mainstream, the government is cracking down on that stuff.
But I still think that the oligarchs are feeling it. Their yachts are being confiscated. Their whole homes are being confiscated in foreign countries. And they are not happy with what he's doing. And it's only a matter of time before the oligarchs say, "You're through. You're finished. You're toast. We got to get somebody else in here." Well, you screwed a good deal for all of us.
I think that once the people find out what's going on, he can only keep this a secret so long, unless, of course, he's just going to next week say, "Oh, it was all a joke. It was CGI. I was just playing," But I doubt that it was a joke, and
they say he needs an easy way out. And he doesn't have an easy way out.
No, I think the only way he's getting out is the way Hitler got out.
Let some people come in here, okay? Let's do this, okay? Let's admit some other people. Here they come. See? There they go. There's Alan, and there's Jeff, and there's Charlie. Okay?
The usual suspects.
I sent you this, Phil and Alex. If you get this stuff, you can put it on your hands, Alex. It's like Motrin in a cream, and it works great.
What do you think? What do you think this stuff is?
I sent it to you both in a text.
What do you think this stuff is?
Oh, it's the same stuff.
Voltaren?
Yeah, it's very close. It's an NSAID in a cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same stuff. Different. Okay. Does that help?
Where do you put it?
Up my ass.
If you're over 70 or you live in Walnut Creek, in your ass. It's supposed to rub it into your hands, and it's supposed to make the pain go away.
Well, it doesn't.
Phil, I like your CGI.
He didn't hear that part of it. It doesn't. Okay.
I like your CGI thing. So I think Trump's presidency was CGI. Computer guided idiot.
Okay, hi, Charlie.
Yeah, who's got Voltaire?
God,
Here we
everybody's
go.
got
Here-
this stuff.
Here we go. You got it. I got it. Everybody's
got
got
it.
it. We see
That's
that. Oh,
ridiculous.
guess who's home? Is Jeff's home?
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I am in the United States.
No, you weren't out of the United States. Anyway, oh boy, I'm tired.
You were in the free state of Florida and Georgia.
I'm
That's right.
tired tonight too, on top of everything. But this thing has kind of made me feel really lethargic because it's like my bones are aching and. Yes, Charlie.
The problem with the CGI theory is that there are at least 3 journalists who have been killed in this war. That's not CGI.
They were in it for the ratings.
2 million people have exited the Ukraine during this war. That's
Look,
not
Charlie,
CGI.
if you got money, you can travel. So, think about it.
Hey,
The
Phil,
good
Phil,
thing-
Phil.
the good
You know,
thing, Charlie,
let me say something here, Phil.
Yeah.
This is not funny. This is really not funny. These people are truly suffering at the hands of an autocrat.
Tens of thousands are
Okay,
dead.
so it's not funny.
Russian soldiers are dead.
Hey, you're not supposed to take it seriously.
Well, no,
Come
but we have to take that seriously, and you can't make jokes about something that serious. Can I be honest about that?
Except
Well,
for
okay,
of the 3
I stole the
journalists-
joke. I stole the joke. The true joke was 2 old Jewish ladies talking about the space travel, and one of them says, "Did you hear White and McDivitt went around the world 164 times?" And the other lady says, "Well, if you got money, you can travel." That's the joke.
I don't know if I find any of this
Even
funny.
Charlie didn't find that funny.
I mean, what's going on in the Ukraine is just a crime against humanity.
Oh, absolutely.
Of the 3 journalists that got killed, at least they're aiming at the people wearing Fox.
And by the way, as long as you
2
mention
of
it,
them are Fox people.
wasn't that slavery hilarious?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, there's some things.
All
you just
right,
can't
all
make
right.
fun of.
You don't
can't
want
joke about.
you don't want to make
No, listen, I'm the first one to say, let's not make everything so woke that you can't make fun of it. But this is something that you don't make fun of out of respect to the people who are suffering. through
Yeah.
it.
It's a funny thing that a lot of times when you have horror and terrible things
Horror?
going on.
No, I know what you're going to say, and it doesn't apply here.
Well, people.
What you're
cops
going to
do
say,
it.
what I often said was one of the great human abilities is the ability to laugh in the face of terror
Horror.
and
Right.
horror. And that's why we joke about some things when they're so horrible, right?
See my
But,
paycheck for
yeah,
Uncle.
but in this case, that doesn't apply. It
All
does
right,
not
so
apply.
it's Tony's fault that this is going on. We all know it.
The only guy who has ever come up with a joke about Ukraine is you.
He made a joke about Ukraine. I missed it.
Yep.
Alex, I have to say something. Your greatest creation so far, me listening to, is Phil. I find so much enjoyment out of this. I think he's funny. I don't know what it is.
I didn't create.
French fries
Please
monster.
don't throw that on me, because then I'm going to get all kinds of complaints. I never created him.
I think
You know-
did. He's like Bride of Frankenstein for you.
No, Alex is able to shape everything he does. For the little short time that I helped him out at KMEL, he said, "Well, I'm going to make you this kind of character, but you're not going to be attractive to women." He says, "I'm not going to let make it so that women will want you." And he didn't have to make it. It came naturally, but he's able to craft every move, every
Little Play-Doh.
everything that he
He's like-
does.
Mhm.
He knows.
Phil, I heard when you helped him at KMEL, you got his coffee for him.
Really?
That was about what he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
You
I
didn't
would like
want
to
to
get free records. That's
you
what I
didn't
would-
want to drink the KMEL coffee. That coffee was the worst.
No, actually,
Right?
I got to tell you, when I was working at
Coffee.
KMEL, that's when I first started drinking coffee.
Yeah.
I never drank coffee before that, and I just
No.
went, if I'm going to do this shit every morning at at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to have something in me to fuel me up, and that was before I found cocaine.
Yeah.
How did you stay up at night doing the overnight, Alex? Did you sleep during the day, and then was it hard to stay up all night?
I would get off at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I would go home and I would go to sleep around 9, and sleep until about 4 or 5.
Oh wow! So you were able to sleep in the afternoon? Then?
Yeah, and then I would I'd get up and go do my show. The show was my end of the day.
I see. Yeah, so it was kind of reversed. Were you tired over the weekend, Alex, or Saturday you were like you could go to sleep regular, or it didn't matter?
No, I just kept the same schedule.
Okay.
I stayed up very late.
Did you do the coke during the show or before the show?
I thought you said.
During the show.
During the show, okay.
What I remember, we used to get phone calls at like 4 in the morning to wake up to be ready for the show. Was that the jock's job before you?
Yeah, the jock's job before me was to call me and wake me up. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they called me too.
Make sure I was awake. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
And then you'd pick me up, and we'd go.
Mm-hmm.
When you were still in Sausalito.
That's right.
So you got the coke. Since Phil was a cop, he must have provided the
Not
coke.
at that time. I was not. I was not a cop at that time.
Well, on the way to work, we would bust somebody.
That's right.
And then you would keep it.
I was non-denominational.
Yeah, right. Sure you were.
Yeah. That meant he would take quarters as well as pennies. So,
Right. Yeah.
What was the name of that lady who used to go up before you in New York, and then she didn't show to work?
you're talking about Lynn Samuels.
Lynn Samuels.
Well, Lynn Samuels, yeah, she went on, I think, after me, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. She was supposed to.
Yeah, one day when she was working, they moved her to weekends, and she would do her show from home on weekends. And one weekend morning, they pushed the button, and there was nobody there. And they
This has
didn't know
happened to you a few times.
what.
You found one guy laying on the floor, Murray Decay.
No.
Right?
Oh, really?
No.
I didn't know that.
No. That story is that I was coming to work on Saturday because I would do a show every Saturday night at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I would come in around 8. And as I was coming in, they were rolling Murray the K out on a litter because he had passed out in the studio. And so I ran in and took over his show. So I'm the guy who replaced Murray the K when that was his last night in New York radio.
Was that his last night alive?
No,
I was gonna say,
No.
was he okay?
no, it wasn't. But, I think he then went to Washington, D.C. or something like that. But, yeah.
So, Tony, did you get a package?
Oh,
that
ow,
just-
ooh, ow, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
lift.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
lift my coffee, and I can't do it. I know what I'll do. I'll keep the coffee right in front of me where I can spill it. Yeah.
Oh, tastes good.
Yummy. Oh man, I took a tumble, folks.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
really.
can you practice the line? Maybe I can still get you that spot.
Well, I mean, I've fallen down and I can't get up.
That's it. All right. Now I just got to clip that out of the audio and send it off to the
Yeah.
advertisers.
Alex, you just gotta learn to tuck and roll. That's what I do when I fall. I fall all the time.
I hate
You
when
do.
you're trying to do that when you're falling backwards, though.
Tuck
What do you
and
think he
roll.
wants? He's driving a lowrider?
No, it sounds
and
it
roll?
sounds like something you do when you want to hide your penis. Yeah.
You get heavy enough.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Now, what have you got there, Tony?
This is going to be for tomorrow night's basketball game. So I'm going to be watching. Like
What is it?
You know, he's spoiling me. Seattle quote.
Yeah.
You know, thank you very
Are
much.
you
I would have sent you a
are
message,
you
but you blocked me,
sending
thank
him
you.
coffee? Are
been
you
a month.
sending him
Abatur.
coffee, Alan?
It's
I'm
been a
going to
month.
basketball frenzy all night.
What?
Lift it up so everybody can see what I said.
This
It's
is very
good.
nice. He's sending me like a nice delicacy. When I visit, I'm gonna have to.
Very
spoil it.
vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
I like the vanilla taste. I'll just add a little bit of my creamer in it. I think. Oh, thank you.
Well, try it. Try it without anything first. It might be really good.
Alex is
The only
using
thing, I
heavy
can't drink
cream.
Coffee black.
Hey, wait a minute. Alex has been using heavy cream because he says his cream went to the bottom of the cup.
Yeah.
Well, this is a cream. This cream has gone to the bottom of the cup.
You sure it didn't spoil it?
Yeah.
I got the joke.
What?
Oh.
What? I should use heavy cream?
I got heavy cream in my. I'm gonna put that in my oatmeal tomorrow. I think heavy cream and oatmeal. I figured that.
You've had some coffee tonight, haven't you?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
The stuff I've sent him this time and last time is decaf. I'm hoping to get him.
Oh, he doesn't know it? He doesn't know it?
Maybe he doesn't know it.
What'd you send him this time?
Decaf. Seattle's best. Very vanilla decaf.
Was that decaf? Oh, don't tell him.
I'm not.
I think you get a buzz off the decaf.
Yeah,
Sure you
placebo.
can.
Yeah, yeah.
Placebo buzz.
Well, there's
Not
actually
dramatic.
still a little caffeine left in it, but not enough to
Yeah.
make you get a buzz. Well, maybe for Tony it is. I don't know.
Hey, is anybody else going to call tonight? Is this it? You know,
Is it?
it's getting
Nobody really calls when Phil's on.
Nah. Hey,
Having white tea tonight.
I got my $2,000 medicine this week. I haven't started it yet, but
What is it?
it's called Xifaxan.
Oh,
it's for the-
Xifaxan?
Yeah.
That shit. That fucking motherfucking cocksucking company.
Yeah.
May I tell you about Xifaxan?
tell us.
I took it. What are you taking it for?
SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
And they charged,
Kaiser
and
didn't
you
pay
paid
for
the
it,
full
did they?
$2,000 for it, right? Because you're
No, I paid $592.
$592.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Wait a minute. Let me.
That was, because of Medicare. I paid $590. It was $2,000, and they paid the other part.
Well, here's what happened. I had my insurance company to begin with. Medicare wouldn't cover it. Okay, and then I went to my insurance company, and they wouldn't cover it either. And it was the one thing was for my IBS, and it's kind of helped my IBS. It worked, But then I got another prescription, and I went to the pharmacy, and they said, "You know how much this costs?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Let us write it down for you." And they wrote it down. It said $2,050 or something like
Right.
that. And I went, "Oh my God!" And he said, "Your insurance won't take care of it, and neither will Medicare." And I went, "Wait, let me finish. Let me finish the story." And so my doctor finally did something. So he got me a free 60.
Well, I got a
Let
treat
me
for you.
finish the story.
I love this. Okay, go ahead, finish.
No, finish it for me, Phil.
All right. My nutritionist said just get the prescription. There's a pharmacy in Canada, and instead of getting 28 pills, you get 100 pills for $150. Xifaxan.
Is it good?
It's called Xifaxan.
Xifaxan.
Yeah. Anyway, so I got these pills. The company said, "Oh, we'll give you 60 of them," which was it for meat, 2 30-day supplies, or no, the 60. What was it? I can't remember. I was taking 3 a day. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was it.
I have to take
Something like that.
3 times a day for 14 days.
Anyway, I had enough for two different runs on it. Oh, for 15 days. That's it. So anyway, I said, this is ridiculous, that any company would charge this for a drug. So I then decided, what the hell, and I started taking probiotics. Just for the hell of it. I started taking these little probiotic gummies that said, hey, this will be good for your stomach.
Yep.
And my what do you call it? My IBS went away.
Yep, mine too.
Completely
I love
disappeared.
probiotics.
So rather than spend that money, I would use
beer,
probiotics.
close.
I've got something else going on besides IBS. So that's why I have to have it.
Well, you're going to have explosive diarrhea when you take that stuff. So that's
Really?
okay.
Thank you.
Hello to Brian Neary, by the way, and let me just say thank you, Brian, first of all, for the cap.
How come that doesn't say Cepheid on it?
It does. It's the 3 white.
It's the logo.
it
You know what I
has-
like
it has
about
the-
the
it
cap, Brian, is it's not crushed like this. And he usually wears the crushed caps. It's nice and straight. Looks good.
Well, it's
Alex.
going to get crushed as I wear it, But wait
It
a
looks
minute.
good. Looks
Then
good, Alex.
he sent me this.
Oh,
I love
Wait. Clear that up. I didn't draw that. I didn't draw that for Al.
Right.
You
like
did.
your work, Brian.
you.
You know,
CGI.
This is
definitely looks like your handiwork.
car.
this was sent to me by. It was drawn for me specifically for me, obviously, because I love you, Alex. I'm planning on marrying her, by the way.
You want to put that on your green screen, Alex.
I love. I love you, Alex, and it's a very nice picture. And then, that wasn't the only thing she sent me. Okay, she thought enough of me to do something
Oh, okay.
secondarily. Oh,
She's
wait a
in
minute,
the
hold on a
art
second.
wall.
Let me show this. I got to put this down here. Okay. Oh God.
And I had to warn you about the rock because
Well, this was a rock she made up. Look at that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
See, and I can use that as
What
a
was the
paperweight.
warning?
As a paperweight.
I had to warn him that there was a rock in there because I didn't want him to, open it up and that thing just drop or something, So I wanted to warn
Right
him.
on his toe.
So I guess what really happened is he opened it up, the rock hit his toe, and then he slipped on the rock.
Yeah, we went to our friend's Rod Powell's house. He's a very, very famous customizer.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said, "Daddy, can I get a rock?" And so she got 2 rocks, and she wanted to do one up for Alex, and she did one up for my other friend. So
Hey, what's
Yeah,
his
she's very
name?
thoughtful.
What's his name?
my friend Ronnie, yeah,
Oh, Ronnie. Oh, so she just wrote Ronnie.
Customizes cars.
yeah, yeah, she's very thoughtful like that. She'll just say people's name and just start talking. Oh, I miss this person, So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's very nice.
Talking about customizing cars, you had a picture of your garage the other day on Facebook, but I didn't see a 34 Cadillac in there.
It's on my friend's shop. We're putting
Ah.
exhaust in all the tranny lines, the tranny cooler lines, the fuel lines, everything. So we're getting ready to start it up. So it's pretty exciting.
I've got to mix my cream again.
My last build of my life, I think. After that, I'm gonna retire. Just pipe it. It's a long process. So.
My
Is
nephew.
that a Tom Brady retirement?
Yeah. That's what I did with this one. I said no more big projects like this, and then here I am looking in the interior of this 34 Cadillac and just seeing like the frame and the ground, and I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. What were you saying, Jeff?
Yeah, my nephew just reprocessed. He had 2 old cars. They were for Saab Sonnets. Those are Sonnet 3, and he had 2 of them.
Those are great.
And he built one out of the 2.
Mm.
And I was always very hot to trot on this car,
Mm-hmm.
and because I used to have a lot of Saabs. But anyway,
So you stole it?
yeah,
you
I went
beat it
in
in a
there and I
punch
saw it.
line.
He had it in Delaware, and you know what? I'm too old for having little toys.
Yeah.
I know.
Was it one of the regular Saabs or a good-natured Saab?
No, it was just a 2-seater.
I'll try
Yeah.
that joke again.
It's a
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't get it.
Was it a regular Saab or a good-natured Saab?
Ah, it was a neat, very
Okay.
neat
Anyway, it
car.
wasn't worth. If you got to diagram them, they aren't worth telling.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't-
I wish Alan would realize that. But anyway, where are we? Oh,
I don't like Saabs. Okay, now you know.
Okay, so you don't want it. I was going to put your name
Sonnet
down.
3 was
Oh,
one of the
thank you,
coolest cars. It was so futuristic for its time.
what?
Yes, it was.
What car?
Yeah.
They're neat little cars. That model, the Saab.
And they were fast and they were fun to drive.
Mhm.
Cross in your will when you go to give that to somebody.
Oh, there was
cross
nothing
the
more
building.
futuristic than say
mine in there.
and nothing more futuristic than a Nash Rambler.
There you go.
Yeah, they were.
Well, didn't you want a DeLorean at one time?
No,
That's because the rebate was in the trunk.
No, yeah. I thought you wanted a DeLorean.
no.
No.
Now you got Coke from DeLorean.
Right. That was my point.
That's what it was.
Rebates in the trunk.
Now that was a pretty futuristic car.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the DeLorean? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean that was I think he got screwed you want my opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
They set them up because big General Motors and Ford.
Well,
were,
the problem
Chrysler-
was when he went to Ireland and tried to get them built there. That was the big problem. You know.
Why is that?
Because
they
there
had
was
all sorts of tax deals.
as they called it, the what do they call it? They didn't call it the war in Northern Ireland. They called it the condition or the something like that. Yeah.
Was this at the time when the Catholics and the Irish were
Oh
fighting?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was not the time to start a car company in Ireland.
Although Ireland was making it very good for businesses to be there. They were giving tax incentives. They were giving all sorts of things to bring industry to Ireland.
Well, that's why he went, but it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know.
And you ever hear of a car called the Bricklin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
vaguely,
the
yeah.
guy
I've been in one.
the guy who Bricklin, I did an estimate for his son, and for his floor. He lives in Walnut
God,
Creek.
you know, I never thought that flooring was such an exciting business.
Exciting, and he gave me a Bricklin brochure, and his father actually brought the Yugo. First, he brought the Subaru to the United States back in the '60s, and then he brought the Bricklin. He made that, and it flopped. And then he brought the Yugo, and that was a big flop. But the Bricklin, the guy who started Bricklin Motor Company, was responsible for the Subaru and Joe Subaru. Remember those commercials? You know.
Yeah.
No.
Or my
I remember.
Joe Isuzu, that's it. Not Joe Subaru. Joe Isuzu.
Okay, everybody have a
Oh,
drink.
Joe
Everybody,
drink.
it's
Take a drink.
drink time.
Yeah. Everybody have a
Joe
drink.
Isuzu, not Joe Subaru.
Azuzu.
Oh God, I
Everybody
can't.
put your glass out. I'm buying.
That's
Oh.
right. Everybody. have
Hey,
a-
Alex,
Yeah.
have you ever put your green screen up and forgot to put the little legs on that, spin the legs around and then the screen falls down?
Oh no, never.
No?
Never.
That screen, I do it all the time. I put the screen up and then all of a
Well,
sudden
the
it's
legs
tipping
are
over.
the legs are always out. Even when I put it back here, I
Yeah.
stick it in a way that the legs are still out.
And you want this guy to sell you carpet?
Yeah. But tonight the screen fell over because I forgot to put the legs out. I tilted up against the wall and I put the legs down.
Well, you got to put the legs out so they balance, and they balance just fine. This thing doesn't move. Do you see it moving?
No.
Right? You know. So.
Wasn't that an earthquake?
No, you could, I can make this go like this, like crazy, and you won't ever notice it because it's just the green. That's all.
Don't you get a draft on your back with that air conditioner running? Don't you get a draft on your neck with that air conditioner running?
What air conditioning?
The one in the picture.
The one in the picture. I can't point to it.
Oh, that air
got
conditioner.
a small-
By the way, that'll be gone because he's taking that air conditioner.
Nah, the
It's
one
like
right
20
behind.
years old.
75 grand and you got to give him the air conditioner?
Oh my God.
What
He wants the air conditioner, and we don't
kind
mind
of
him.
mumser is this guy?
We don't mind him
Yeah,
taking
really.
it because during the summer we never use it.
Phil and I know somebody like that who lives in Vacaville, California. He would come and collect his old 20-year-old air conditioner.
Yeah, I mean this air conditioner is 18 years old.
Oh my God.
Can't get refrigerant for it anymore.
Looks like it's gonna fall out the window.
Yeah, that's I was hoping to watch it fall.
No, here in New York, it's the law. They have to. The apartment house puts in these brackets that go out, so they can't. The thing can't fall. So, plus it's screwed into the window there. But I'll be happy to get those windows closed because every time we hire somebody to go out and clean the windows for us, we can't get those windows clean because the air conditioner's in there, so the window's up a certain level, and what's in between we can't get clean. So.
Yeah.
So how do they clean your windows? You're on the 8th floor. Do they hang scaffolding, or do they? Does the guy go out on the ledge and somebody yells jump?
No, there is a on each window.
Yeah.
There are these hooks, these places to put hooks, and there's one on each window. There are two on each window, and he
I know.
He just moves from one to the other and hooks the thing.
On a 104-year-old building, you trust those hooks?
Oh yeah, those hooks are they're part of the building. Yeah.
Phil, if you'd
Until
like,
they're
we
not.
can get you set up to try it sometime.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Well, they're part of the building
I
until
can't.
they're no
I,
longer part of
I
the building.
can't. I can't watch the guy do it. It scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You know. I mean, it really does.
So,
It's horrible.
The landlord doesn't clean the outside of the windows?
No.
That
We're not.
would be a good photo, though.
And by
You
the
know,
way,
you
we're
got a
not.
guy
According to
hanging
our
out-
lease, we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
But we do it anyway. Hell with it.
I mean,
In a lot of those older buildings, they had the windows set up that they were on a pivot, so you could turn them and clean them and then turn them back.
Well, they were on a pivot that went this way. Yeah. But no more. Not on these. This you got to remember, this apartment house is 122 years old.
Wow.
You know, what do you expect? You know, so I mean, we're living with a 122-year-old apartment here. You know.
Yeah.
You mentioned something. I believe Charlie brought it up, and then he was so nicely interrupted by either Phil or Alan. And he was talking about Tom Brady. Boy, that was fast, wasn't it?
Yep.
What did he
Need
do?
the money?
No, what did he do? Wake up
oh,
on
he retired and went back to work.
$22 million was too much to turn down, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean,
I don't get that. I mean, that's chump change.
no, but I think it was 25 million from what I heard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some change for Tony, but not for this guy.
right.
Can't believe he.
For 25 million, a lot of us, all of us
Actually,
could
he's
go
on-
together.
Yeah, but anyway, I think he just woke up one morning and just said, "I quit. Yeah, I'm going to miss not playing next season." So
Yeah, he's competitive, and what's he going to do after football?
Isn't he like 40
Being
years
bored,
old?
right?
He's 44.
44.
I think.
He can do the same kind of stuff that a lot of other athletes do. They start charities. They help a lot of people. Who was the guy that owns all those theaters in Harlem? He was a basketball
Magic
player.
Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Look what he does. I mean,
does a lot.
he does all sorts of things for business, for people, for his community. Why couldn't
He saw it as a good business opportunity, Phil.
Yeah, really.
Maybe he could join Gabnet.
What?
He could go on Gabnet.
Get
Oh,
that.
yeah.
From San Francisco.
Tom Brady?
Yeah, why not?
We need somebody to do the sports in, right?
Now we got a sports guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Offer him a show, Alex.
That's
Send him a
right.
message and say, "Hey, I have a show from 9 to 10 if you'd like it."
If you'd
twice a
like to
week."
have a live show every
Live sport.
night, I'll set you up and you can do the show.
Yeah. And just think, even if he loses every game, he still goes home to Giselle.
That's right. That's right.
That's a tough life, man.
Yeah.
And counting those pennies, 25 million of them, huh?
Yeah.
What he made over his lifetime? Does anybody know?
What's that?
Income wise.
Oh, Brady.
Oh, man. He's like
Hundreds of millions.
he's like Jordan. Those guys make more money on endorsements than anything.
He does a lot. He does so many commercials. He's doing Subway.
I mean, you look at Serena now. See all the ads she's doing.
Yeah.
You know
I have a phone call from downstairs. See how lazy you are now?
what?
What'd you do? Lock the door?
Yeah, but
You don't have
okay.
an
Well,
elevator?
let's listen to his call.
Hi, babe. Oh, okay. Yeah, can I stop by that room in 20 minutes?
Oh, he's going to get lucky.
We're almost done with the show. Bye.
It's already lucky.
Take videos.
Okay, I love you.
She didn't say "I love you" back, huh?
Yeah.
He
You should
says,
at least kiss her.
it rhymes with "love you." No, we have the construction that we did. We have like one corner of the house and we extended that corner, and it was supposed to be my car storage area for all my parts and all the fenders and everything. And yeah, it's the girls' art room now. But trust me, I would rather have them all in the art room than in the house, so I can have my TV up loud. I was watching the Warriors right now really loud, so
Yeah.
that's fine. They can have their art room.
Yeah. But anyway, have you ever had a fall like this, Jeff?
You know, never yet. And I gotta tell you, I'm always cautious about it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen to me.
Well, it'll happen.
I know it will, but I'm always working
Now,
around.
Charlie, with your neuropathy and with your
Yeah, that's one thing that Phil's got right is that you really have to be concentrating on making sure you lift your feet when you get to be our age. Because otherwise you'll drag them, and then you do trip.
Phil said that. that. I missed.
I'm always looking like where I'm going, where I might grab.
I haven't
on.
gone out since that incident. Yeah, I'm afraid to go out. Yeah.
Yeah, my stepfather started having dementia, and then after he passed away, his wife told me, that he fell like 10 times in the last year. And the last time I was there with him, I would see, going up to a curb, parking lot, and then we went into whatever at the restaurant, and up to the curb, he would slow down and stop, and be really conscious of the curb and stuff. But I never.
Just trying to don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a problem. And I know all these people. My mother-in-law, she falls. She's only like, her house is like 7 houses from us.
By the way, I hope all the young kids listening to this program right now are really enjoying this discussion.
Well, she's a youngster. She's 93 or something.
90, my God, 93. If I'm walking, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We just did construction, and I made sure that our new staircase, he has it all plywood because we had to do some other structural stuff. I'm all good because when I get old, I want to do one of those seats, and it goes right up the stairs.
Oh, I have one.
Alan had his hand up.
I have a friend of mine that's got dementia and Alzheimer's, and his caretakers have had to
Not
take.
me.
Well, actually, there's no such thing, Alan. Dementia is a component of Alzheimer's.
Okay,
Alzheimer's is a different version of dementia. It contains dementia, but it also includes a physical aspect.
My point was they had to take all the mirrors out of the house because he would think when he saw himself in the mirror that he freaked out. It didn't know why this person was in his house.
I freak out looking at myself in the mirror, and that's just age.
Yeah, well,
If he was a vampire, he wouldn't see himself.
That Alzheimer's. I mentioned this maybe once before. My best friend, his mom was one of those really outgoing moms and smiling, and always right when she see you, she would just light up. And she had that. And then I went to a Super Bowl party at my friend's house, and she was there. And I walked in, and by the outside there, she looked at me, and it was just a blank stare. And my best friend, it's like a blank stare, and just sent shivers up and down my spine because all of a sudden I realized, man, she doesn't even know who I am.
That's one of the things I'm fearful of. You can get a DNA test to determine if you have a propensity for dementia or Alzheimer's, and I mean, it would be a tough way to live. They put you in a wheelchair, they stick you in front of a window, and once in a while they wipe the drool.
What are you worried about? Let's say they find out you have a propensity towards dementia. Sooner or later, you're going to forget.
That's true.
Yeah. So, it doesn't become a problem any longer.
So, Alex, do you remember everything that you remembered, like
How
last
would you
year?
know?
No. I mean, it depends on what I have to remember. It's strange. It's selective. I mean, I'm having trouble remembering names and things like that. And then there are other things that, went on 40 years ago, and I know every name, It's
Join the club.
Hmm?
Join
Yeah,
the
it's the
club.
short-term memory, and it could be stress.
It could be Wednesday because he knows you. He's got you on the show.
Yeah, it could be a little slow, yeah.
Yeah, I like to forget these shows on Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
So do we all.
He forgets them by midnight.
Oh God, my hand is killing me right now. This is probably gonna take a week or so to not hurt any longer.
And Alex, you're not on any blood thinner or anything like that, right?
No, but I just took an ibuprofen for this because.
Yeah, my grandfather was on Coumadin, and he almost fell. Like the last step, he grabbed onto the railing and cut himself. And yeah, man, I had to take care of him, and he just started bleeding like crazy.
Did you put the razor blades on the railing?
No.
Hey, Alex, did you ice it? Did
I
you?
took all that stuff.
I've been icing it, yeah.
Okay.
I had bleeding problems.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so you
Oh yeah, I'm the survival of all of this stuff.
And you're still out riding your bike and
Yeah, I know, but I'll kill myself I guess, one day.
Yeah.
But that's why not?
Phil and I are the ones on the show that if something goes wrong, we can end it real quick.
Not I.
What do you mean
Yeah,
you can
I know.
end it real quick?
Kaboom.
You know, I always
Oh.
thought about what would happen if I wasn't able to, to function. And I think the best way is scuba diving. You go down to about 300 feet. You get this thing called nitrogen narcosis where you feel like you're high and everything is wonderful. And then you drown. And you never know the difference because you black out at about 180.
Well, I there was this book. It was put out by the I'm trying to remember the name of the organization that believed in suicide.
Neptune.
No, not Neptune.
No, that's not Neptune.
That was for
Kevorkian?
The Hemlock Society?
the Hemlock Society.
Yeah.
And they put out a book on how to kill yourself. And
great.
yeah, no, but they said the worst way to do it is any way in which somebody will find you.
Yeah.
Because they said that most suicides, people do it in ways that they're trying to get even with other people. And so they will do it in a way which whoever discovers them, those people are going to be impacted by it, okay? So they said you shouldn't do that. That's just thoughtless. You should do it in a way that nobody else has to put up with it or find the body or whatever, or see a head blown off or whatever. So they suggested the best way to commit suicide was, as I'm about to mention to you, going up on a very wintry night to a high altitude without really heavy clothing on and freeze to death.
Freezing
Freezing to death is a pleasant way to die.
God.
You get a high out of it, and then you go.
I have a friend whose son-in-law committed suicide last week.
By the way, is this a happy show for you folks?
Yeah.
Getting happier, right?
Brilliant. This guy was brilliant. He was an engineer. He was a very smart guy. His wife had MS, who was the daughter of my friend. And just out of the blue, he called my friend and he said, "Hey, I want to thank you. You've been very helpful for us in our business. And I just want you to know we love you and we want to thank you." And then that night, he took an overdose of all her MS medicine and died at 3:00 in the morning. He got a phone call. He committed suicide. It's odd. You have no idea what's going on in a person's mind. That he wasn't depressed.
Well, no, but most people who commit suicide may be depressed prior to suicide, weeks prior to suicide, but as they approach the time they decide to commit suicide, they become very happy.
Really?
Because really they've resolved what they're going to do, and so they're no longer depressed about their life, and they're pleasantly happy with the decision they've made. So
part of the problem is I don't think I could ever shoot myself. One, it makes a big mess, but I could go to a field.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, well, I get to pick the ammo though.
You get to pay for the ammo.
There you go.
Well, I'll give you guys the sad part of this when I have the experience, although it's not so much me. It's more my wife. Her father stopped working, He had a real good job and all of that, but you know, he was 65, and so he said, "I'm retiring." And then didn't quite know what to do with his life. And the weirdest thing is, his father had a gun, and his father died of normal, natural stuff. And so they gave him the gun. And so Pam's father got depressed, doing nothing, I guess. And he took the gun in his bedroom and
Yeah.
made the end.
Yeah, well, you know something? I mean, if he had lived today, he might not be dead because he could do a podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
He could have joined this show.
He could have joined
Could've been with
everybody
us.
else. I'm about ready to kill myself just doing this podcast, okay? So,
Yeah, but you don't even have a sharp pencil.
I wonder, there's a lot of people that get guns and don't know how to handle them, don't know how to be safe with them, and you never know. It could have been an accident, and the accident might have looked like
He could
suicide.
have been
because-
cleaning the gun and it could have still been
Well,
loaded.
believe
so much
me,
they're
believe
cleaning
me,
it, they're playing with it.
Jeff knows what went on, okay, Phil?
The answer was, this was not an accident.
Yeah.
This was a decision.
This was a decision. Yeah.
And to do it right, so that a half an hour from there, his wife could come home to
Yeah,
say
he,
hi.
he wasn't in the right mind space to go and take it somewhere
Nobody
else.
is. Nobody is when they do.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And so, yeah, I wouldn't want to leave a mess for anybody. My brain's up against the wall or anything like that. But
But that's why I'm saying that it's a hostile act. You
Yes.
know, because who's
Yes,
going to be affected by it?
absolutely.
Not you. You're dead. The person who's going to be affected by it is the person who comes upon the body.
I totally agree with you, Alex. I'm just saying.
You know, so if you're
if I
going to
had a
kill
choice, I
yourself,
would
go
do
to
it
the top of
somewhere
a
else.
mountain and freeze. That's caring about other people.
You know, when we were talking about this, we were saying that it's really a coward's way of dealing with.
Well, I've had
things.
people say that suicide is a hostile act. Yes, Tony.
Yeah, you know, funny you say that. A long time ago when I was small, my mother's, well, they were vaguely friends. The lady across the street, the husband owned an air conditioning place. He wind up, I was like maybe 7 at the time. He killed himself on April 1st. It was April Fool's Day, Gino. And he used to take us to school. He had like a truck. He used to pick up the, air conditioners working on him. And then I said, oh, how come Gino's not going to take us? My mother never told me what happened. He wound up killing himself. And my mother said that she was cheating on him and he couldn't take it. And he hung himself in the back. And so I don't know who found him. But it's like, would that be a form of mental illness? Because years later, my mother told me, she was discussing it about Gina one time. You know, you talk about old neighbors when she was alive. She said his dad took his life. That could be a form of mental illness, no? Can that be hereditary?
Yeah.
It's amazing how suicide can run in a family.
Because my mother said his dad took his life too. I never knew the father. I really knew him.
if being a criminal can run in the family, maybe suicide can too.
I think it's a mental
Well,
illness.
It's the acceptance, maybe too. If it's been done to somebody in your family, you think that's an okay way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I never forget that day, Alex, when he killed himself, it was April Fool's, and when somebody said that, my older brother said, "Ma, you're joking, right?" Because we thought it was April Fool's. Who jokes like that? And she's no. And then I was like, "What was going on?" I really didn't put it together. I was too small until later.
Who? It's Devin Jackson. He was just sitting there, not coming on. So
That's Irv's illegitimate brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like
here
you're-
are a whole bunch of people trying to come in here. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The last 10 minutes or 12 minutes, let
Yeah.
him in. Let's
No, I'm not going to let
They
him in.
can-
Let's get some porn on there, right?
I'm not going to let him in. No.
Maybe it's suicide.
Oh, now we got 4 of them. See, if I were to go remove, I would keep getting messages that would come across the screen here that people would see. But let me just remove that one. Don't report it to Zoom. See the sign, folks? See? Remove,
I just see it.
and then remove, and then don't report to Zoom. Okay, remove, and then remove, and don't report to Zoom. Remove, and then remove.
You're not a
and
tattletale?
don't report to Zoom. Remove. Okay, there they go. They're all gone.
How come you don't rat these guys out and report them to Zoom? Hey, Zoom, these guys are trying to mess me up here.
That's right. They're Republicans. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the problem. You know what the problem is? I put this address up publicly, and so some people find it, and then they pull this whole deal. You know. And
Well, you don't have any callers because you don't let them in.
no, I know when I see people that are legitimate or seem like they might be legitimate, but when I see a bunch of foreign names up there, I don't think they're legitimate. You know.
So there's a litmus test for getting on.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah. You know, one of these
ask
days,
them
I might
for
just
their
might.
mother's name or something.
Yeah, one night I might just change the address here on this account so that, you know, we freshen it up so that these jerks don't come along. I very seldom have a problem with this, you know.
Don't you get a whole bunch of phone calls during the day, all the time? From
Now, here's somebody who
people?
says iPhone.
Well, that's possible. A lot of people send text messages and it says sent from an iPhone or sent from a Verizon phone. Or
I get a bunch of Skype phone calls, 5 or 6 a day.
Yeah.
Usually some young girl calling.
it's really Phil calling you.
Yeah, well, you know, I
You
mean,
have to remember how to
Nice
use Skype.
picture, Phil. Nice picture, though. Hey.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
yeah.
If I look at the phone number and I don't get a good, reasonable connection, I just go delete.
I'm to the point now that I don't even answer the phone if I don't know who it is, and, or if it's a hidden number.
Right.
I'm even thinking about leaving in the outgoing message, hey, if I don't recognize your number, please leave a message and I'll call you back. You know?
Well, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of starting to answering. I have nothing to do with my life, right? I'm bored. I'm bored, and I have nothing to do with my life.
So
So
your new friends.
So
You can do phone porn.
He used
can
to.
I finish what I was going to say?
Yes.
Is
please.
that permissible? Thank you. I just think I should start spending more time with these robocalls. Like when they say, do you want to talk to somebody about your car and its insurance and so on? Yeah, sure, put them on. And then waste this guy's time for like a half hour. Because I got nothing else to do, right? He's not wasting my time. I want to waste his. He wasted my time enough just by calling. Okay?
Hey,
Make them mail you a packet, and that'll cost them money.
Yes, right.
all our lives, we always wanted a little bit of free time to do nothing. Now that you have the ability and the time to do nothing, you don't want to do nothing. You think about it. All I want to do is have a break from what I'm doing and veg out.
Well,
and
the
do
end of this
nothing.
month, Marjorie is not really going to be working much anymore. She's being paid a quarter of her salary to not work for the next 2 years. Okay? And if they need her, they might call her. All right?
Okay.
So outside of the fact that I'm going to have to now pimp her out, that's a joke, folks. Because
You had to tell us that.
in a way, for the last many years, I've been pimping her out because she's been going to this job every day and bringing home the bucks.
It's called you're a Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Mac Daddy.
But we were figuring out how we're going to get along, and we're going to get along fine. But she is the one that's going to go nuts, I'm sure, after a
They'll
while.
probably have you clean the windows and save some money.
Well,
outside.
already she's saying that she wants to go work out every day, and she wants to do this, and she
Well,
wants to
good.
do
She'll have
that.
time.
Yeah.
And I said, well,
Maybe you'll go with her.
take my
Go to
example and
Springs.
do absolutely
Go
nothing. She says, well, you do something like 4 days a week. And I go,
Sure, you do the show.
you call this doing something? It's not really
I
doing
can't
something.
keep up with my shows. I would love to have time off.
You,
You're retired.
you
You're
can't
supposed
keep
to
up
have
with your
time.
what? What do you?
Because I got 2 phone calls during this show. Umpires with questions I got to work on when I get off.
That's a good deal.
You got it, but you love doing this. You really love doing it.
He just likes fondling.
I
softball.
absolutely hate doing this. So Oh boy.
Is that true?
No, I don't know. Some days, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays,
Why you don't show up?
you know. I thoroughly enjoy Mondays. You know.
That's a fun show listening to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoy it.
I thoroughly enjoy Mondays, and this show, it's just that I wish we got more listeners, got more viewers.
You get a lot of people on the Monday show. I watch it afterwards,
Yeah,
almost every week.
I watch Ramble.
yeah, and we get a lot of people listening to it. This week it was a little slow, but
It's all the Monday people are listening to it over and over and over. That's how you get in the count.
I see.
It's fun. Hey.
Yeah. It's an easy listen, let me put it that way. This wasn't a difficult listen either. This is kind of like what we do on that show. Tonight's been kind of chatty and, you know.
Talking about medical stuff and suicide.
And about suicide. All the
Tom-
happy
Tom
things in
Brady
life.
and-
The happy, positive things in life. Hey, if you could commit suicide, how would you do it?
Listen to Gabnet.
With the
I
air
wouldn't
conditioner
add
blowing
this.
on you.
I wouldn't do that on Monday.
What?
You wouldn't commit suicide on Monday?
No, I wouldn't add that discussion.
Right, right.
For me, because my wife would be around and now she's asleep. So.
No, I say, oh, yeah, you can get away with stuff.
Right.
I can't commit suicide until I bowl a 300 game. So I'm good for life.
What's that site that everybody goes to where the people are selling their porn? iFan or
What?
something? Huh?
Oh,
Only
fan.
OnlyFans. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. You can spend your time
is
with
that?
type
It's
in
a fun
OnlyFans.
site.
Huh?
There you go. There you go, Alex.
It's a fun site, but it costs money.
Yeah, no,
It's not
You-
free.
it's worth it.
You
And-
can go to Twitter and bounce around for free and see
And
stuff.
to me, all porn should be free. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's my feeling about it. You know, they're having fun.
Never noticed that they play that same song over and over on TikTok? You know, all of a sudden you're looking at Facebook, and then these TikTok things come up, and you flip one and you flip another one, and they all go like, "Oh no, oh no!" That. Have you noticed that?
No,
No.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's
because
the same-
I watch TikTok without the sound.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't put the sound on because I know it's got to be annoying sound.
Yeah, it is.
Plus, the stuff is all on a loop anyway.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, are there any TikTok videos that are longer than about 30 seconds?
I don't think so.
The one on the truckers in Canada.
Oh yeah, just go to somebody's site.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But did you see? Sorry, I know we're running out of time. Did you see SNL? They had the whole thing about TikTok being like the news.
Yes.
You know, yeah, Biden with all the TikTokers.
Yeah.
And maybe
yeah.
remind us of a caller.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well. Anyway, hey, listen.
Be nice, Tony.
Yeah.
Enjoy your new coffee, Tony.
There's our theme song.
Tomorrow when I'm not
Hey, Phil, thank you for sticking around. Appreciate it. Okay.
My pleasure.
Yeah. The same to you, Jeff. Great having you here tonight. Alan, always a pleasure. Charlie Wallace. Charlie Five Toes. How many do you have? Four? Oh, Charlie Four Toes. And
That's a good mafia name.
yeah, that's his name.
Ah.
Yeah, that's his mafia name. And of course, Tony and Brian Neary. And thanks for the swag, Brian. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No problem.
Anyway, everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, and then fade to me. Okay, there they go, folks. Now let me just get rid of them so that they don't have to stick around. Anyway, that's it for tonight for us. We're here again tomorrow night at 10:30. Okay, that's Eastern time. All right, same time, same station. And as always, as I like to say, gee, if I sign off too fast here, I'll be off early, and Jack won't know what to do with that. But maybe I'll do it anyway. we'll see you again tomorrow night, 10:30, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? All righty. And by the way, do I have to tell you to wear a mask or to get vaccinated? Oh, get your 4th vaccination. I think they're getting ready to give us old people those. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye, everybody.